Having somebody handle your money, man, that can be confusing. You've probably heard the terms before, like stockbroker or financial planner or money manager, but what in the world does that mean? How much do they get paid? What do they do? Great questions, and we've got the answers. Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of The Current Temp with Joey Solopek, and let me welcome my longtime partner and co-worker, Bill Gerner of EMC Equity Management Company. Bill, thank you for being here. Thank you to Lexus of Memphis. As always, you men and women have heard me say it. It's an incredible product, one of the best out there, phenomenal service, and that's a big deal. I will go a mile if I know I'm going to get great service, and you know you're going to get that on top of a top-tier product, and I'm just a big fan. Thank you, Lexus, for helping us make this happen, and also to EMC Equity Management Company. If you have questions, and you might after this is over, we'd love to hear from you. You get those questions answered for free. You can check it in at emctn.com. All right, here's the question. What is the difference in a stockbroker, a financial planner, and a money manager? It may all sound like Greek to you, but we're going to run through this. We're going to run through all three of these. I'm going to talk about what each one is, and then we're going to talk about how do they get paid, because I think that's an important question. Let's start with a stockbroker. Now, you may have heard this term throughout your life. Bill, you've heard it your whole life. You've been around stockbrokers. I used to have this fantasized vision of how glamorous it was when I was a kid. You hear about stockbrokers on TV. They're always high-flying, and it's not so glamorous. Here's what a stockbroker does. He really acts as an intermediary, a middle person between a buyer and a seller in the stock market. So a stockbroker executes trades, earns a commission, offers suggestions, sells products. Anything you want to add to that list of what a stockbroker does?
Well, they sell product, and they get I don't know of all of them, but most of them get a sheet of what they're pushing that day. It could be a stock, it could be a mutual fund, or it could be electronic traded fund, or whatever they're pushing. And that's what they do. And they get paid. Some of them get paid when they call you up and say, go buy this stock, and then they charge you so much a share. And
all right, well, let's jump into that part, and you can say more. So how do they get paid? Commissions, right, on the products Bill was just mentioning. They have sales charges. They have what's called markups on the things they're selling. They do get a salary in many cases or a bonus, and there are account fees. So let's flesh that out. I've heard of people, I right now would not even know who to call if somebody said, I want a stockbroker, but there's somebody that you call and they give you specific stock advice and tell you to buy. Is that your experience?
It is, and you have to be careful because there are some good stockbrokers, and I'm not trying to put them under the bus, but if they get paid by buying or selling a stock for you, there's been a tendency in the past for some of them to churn the account, which creates more income for them.
Right.
Not all of them do that. I'm just saying
something to watch for.
In the past. It's kind of like a bookie. They don't care if you who you bet on. They're going to get paid anyway.
Right. They're pushing a stock or a product, so it's a little bit of a different type vehicle if you're wanting to invest. And if you know a stockbroker, maybe you have one you trust. That's going to be a big deal. As you know, Bill and I talk a lot about how important trust is in this situation. So that's what a stockbroker does and how they get paid. All right, let's go to the second one. This is a financial planner. You may have heard about a financial planner. And financial planners are very comprehensive and really map out life strategies. So I see a lot of young people that really take advantage of financial planning, and I understand that because they can help you if you want to do complicated things like buy a home, save for college, how to budget your household, maybe deal with tax reduction, or if you have a wide variety of needs or insurance needs. So they kind of cover everything. Anything you want to add to what they do before we get to how they get paid?
I don't think so. They're, they do so many different things.
Right.
It's just if you can't do anything for yourself, that may be a place to go.
They're very comprehensive. And so if you have no idea and you have lots of different needs, that might be a good fit for you. But here's how they get paid. How does a financial planner get money? Well, some of them get paid hourly by how they work on your plan. Some of them have flat fees or retainer fees that you would pay ongoing. Some of them get paid on a percentage of the assets they manage. So if they're going to manage money for you, depending on how much money you have, they might get a share of that. And in this situation as well, they get commissions, salary, and bonuses because I'm sure they have products to sell as well.
They do sell products. They do not manage the product, and they're like a broker in that way. They have mutual funds that they recommend for clients to try to meet their needs.
Yeah, and I'll say, as you and I both know, we know that there are good financial planners out there, just like there are good stockbrokers out there. You just you want to have a good connection, a good relationship, somebody you trust, and who communicates well with you. And of course, you want ethical people wherever you go. All right, the last one, and this is the vehicle that Bill and I fall into. We're money managers. So what is a money manager? These are professionals that buy stocks or securities. The word security also means stocks on your behalf to manage a portfolio for you, with the goal being to try to get the best returns you can while managing your risk. So if you think of a money manager as someone who's basically researching the stocks and the companies to help you invest, that's what we do. And I would say we do a lot more than that as well.
We do. I think we're closer to a financial planner and a money manager. We do, we help people with trust. We help them with wills. We help them to make money. And the difference in us and a financial planner, one of the major ones is you may pay a financial planner 1% fee. There are different fees like you mentioned, but you may pay 1%. But also when they put you into mutual funds or whatever they're pushing, then there's a fee on top of that.
Those have cost as well.
Yeah, and you don't really see them because on mutual funds, they take your fee out every day.
Right.
Of the net asset value. So we do kind of more like a financial planner and a money manager, and we meet with our clients. We help them with their needs. We've helped with cars. We've helped with houses.
Right.
We've done some of the same things.
Yeah, so that's an interesting distinction to make. We've talked about three things: stockbrokers, financial planners, and money managers, and generally how they operate. And Bill's making a great point. In our case at EMC, we do a little bit of everything. We don't charge for all those add-ons, and that may be a difference. Is when you go to one of these other ones, you're probably going to get a laundry list of what the fees are to help you with all those things. In our case, we throw a bunch of that in for free, and some of the others might as well. I don't know. But let's talk about, so how does a money manager get paid? And we can wrap this up. Money managers like us, we usually charge an ongoing fee based on a percentage of your assets. So in a case like ours, we don't ask for money up front. You don't write us a check. There's no down payment. We get paid as you invest based on the AUM, or what's called assets under management. And I personally feel like that's a pretty good format, because in our situation, if the client makes money, then we make money.
That's right. and we have an incentive to make money.
Right, that's the incentive.
Because the assets increase.
Right.
But also, you mentioned fees. We have an all-encompassing fee.
Right.
So if you are a client, we will help you with wills and trust. We won't do your taxes for you, but we have people that do income taxes.
Right.
So we do a lot of things, and I think, I'm biased, of course, but I think we're the best and the cheapest.
We do love what we do, and I want to make sure we're giving everybody else a fair shake. And again, this is a quick overview. Stockbrokers, financial planners, and money managers each do slightly different things, so it may be a different fit for you. Each get paid in unique ways, and we're the most familiar with how money managers get paid. In our case, we know we're very transparent at our firm. There are no hidden costs and no surprises, but apply that wherever you are. If you're in the market and you're looking at different firms or different people, just make sure everything is transparent, that there are no hidden surprises, any hidden layers. That's a big thing with us at EMC. There are no surprises or hidden layers, very transparent, but demand that wherever you are. And ask for frankness and bluntness in speak. Make sure that whoever's talking to you is being very clear. That's something I pride ourselves on. We are very clear and intentional when we talk. I want to make sure they understand what's going on, because most people don't understand finances when they come in, and it's very easy to be taken advantage of. And we just want to make sure people are going somewhere where they're being cared for.
Yeah, and hidden fees. There are hidden fees on annuities. They are hidden. And there's fees on mutual funds that are hidden, 12B1 fees, dark pools, different things that you would never know about, securities lending. So there are some hidden fees around. But like I said, if you don't know, the one thing the person can control is fees. They can't control the performance, but they can control the fee.
Right.
And we have a reasonable fee, and we give people a lot for their money, and we do a great job.
All right, I'm going to end with this and let you have the final word. I'm going to give a push for liquidity. And what I mean by liquidity is when you're looking at your investments or talking to someone about investments, liquidity is a good thing. And that means if you need your money, that you can get your hands on your money and not be penalized for it. There are investment vehicles that say you're under contract. You can't get it for a certain amount of time or you'll get penalized. We're not particularly fans of that unless it's a very unique situation. There might be a situation where it's a good thing. But overall, we're believers that if you need your money, you should be able to get it quickly without any penalty. Any thoughts on that?
It is. We have some accounting firms that have given us accounts, and these people have been put in to investments where it's not liquid. And if you do not have a liquid investment, you're speculating. You're not investing. So everything that we invest in is completely liquid. And people, not all the time, but people do get taken advantage of. And we've seen them where they put them in junk bonds and they go under, and we've seen everything there is. So a lot of times we're cleaning up messes that other people have caused. But there are good stockbrokers. There are good
good financial planners.
And they're good money managers.
The one thing I would want to leave you with is just ask questions. If someone is wanting to invest for you, if they're telling you it has to be locked up for some period of time, find out why that is and why you can't get to your money, because that's the one question, because we run into that a lot. Most people don't seem to know when they get in that situation.
And they do lock it up. They'll say they'll lock it up for 10 years where you can't get out of it, but they will get paid during that 10 years.
Correct.
So they lock you in for a long period of time.
Yeah, so be careful. That's just something to look out for. And as Bill and I said, there are good financial planners and good stockbrokers and good money managers. We just want to make sure that you're asking the right question to take care of you and your family. Any closing thoughts?
Well, I think the closing thought for me, and what came in my head, is experience. You've had multi-years in investments. I have too. I ran the Federal Express pension plan. I ran the City of Memphis pension plan. I've had my own business and sold it. So, and you say, Bill, why are you still doing this? I'm doing it because I love it. I love helping people.
Yeah, and you're good at it, and I appreciate the tutelage. That's a great point. Just know who you're working with, and there are some good teams out there. Hey, friends, listen, if you've got questions, we want to answer them. You can email us, as always. We get to hear from you, and we try to respond as often as we can. You can email us at thecurrenttemp@gmail.com or reach out to us through the website, emctn.com, and we'll answer questions there as well. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Have a great week. Stay cool.